we. We had written a novel. We had written a novel. I already mentioned you that irrespective of the singular or plural, right? Had is accepted to both, either singular or plural. So we itself states that it is a plural subject. So if the subject is plural, definitely had also takes place because it is applicable to both singular as well as plural. So subject plus had plus V3. Again the same structure is being followed here in this sentence. Correct? Okay. Now I would like to remind you one thing. Yeah, I was telling you that you have to use whenever I comes, am is followed immediately. Whenever I comes, am is to be followed immediately. Right? We told you that. Listen students, am is to be followed after I only in present continuous tenses, but not in past continuous tenses or perfect tenses. Okay, either it could be a present perfect tense or a past perfect tense. Only it is applicable in the continuous tenses, that is only in present continuous tense, but not in any of the tenses of or verbs. Okay, correct. That is the reason why we did not use here I am had, because I is there, so you have to use am, because we used to get this type of questions also from the students. To avoid this, we started giving a very deep explanation to the students regarding the structures. Once the students are aware of the structures, then these small doubts disappears automatically. They vanish like camphor. We see the camphor on the table, but after some time, without knowing ourselves, it vanishes itself because it gets evaporated into the air. So it's also something like that. So am has to be evaporated in all the remaining 11 tenses, but it is to be appeared in the present continuous tense only with I. Okay? Good. Now let's deal with you. Even you had takes place here. You had written a novel. Even for the subject you, the same structure is to be followed. So students, from this example we have taken many subjects. By means of many subjects, we have constructed the same type of sentence in a different contexts. Right? So I hope you have understood it very clearly. Now shall we move to the past perfect continuous tense? Surely, definitely. Sure. Okay. Now the board is clear for us. Now it's time for us to deal with past perfect continuous tense. Once you understand the 4 tenses in the present tense zone, the remaining tenses becomes very easy for you to identify. Now let's deal here. Past perfect continuous tense. The structure for past perfect continuous tense is subject plus, what did we have here? Had. Bring the had down as it is. Had plus been plus V4. Why did we use V4? Why did we use V4 here? Because it self states that it is a continuous tense, and for the continuous tenses, for always the continuous tenses are activated by V4. That is the reason we have taken V4 as a common part to express perfect continuous tense as well as continuous tenses. Okay? Alright. So this is the structure. Now shall we do some examples? Alright. Rita. In our previous example, we did like this. Rita had written a novel. But now we are going to change the example slightly. Rita had been writing a novel. I would like to write it very clear, bit clearly for you, so I can use this space. Rita had been writing a novel. Can you look at it? Can you see this? Correct. Now can you pick up what is the subject here? Exactly, it is Rita. So the structure is following this way. Subject plus subject plus. Immediately after subject, what is followed by subject? Had. Do we have had here? Yes, had. Plus been. Plus writing. What is writing? What form of verb is writing? Correct. It is V4. So, did we have this? Subject plus had plus been plus V4. Now, you remove all the pluses in between and start reading this sentence. How beautifully it appears. When we read this, it is like this. Rita had been writing a novel. Of course, we didn't mention any time since, but when we are dealing with simple sentences, let's take the subject and verb portion to a maximum extent. Okay, so Rita had been writing a novel. And let us deal with one more example. Rita and Shyam have been writing a novel. See, in my next sentence, the subject is quite changing. What is the change here? This is a plural subject and this is a singular subject. Though it is a plural subject, the same helping verb takes place. Had plus been plus V4. The remaining part is quite common. So from this also we can understand that had been is applicable either to a singular subject as well as a plural subject. Okay, students? I think you might have understood it very clearly. Singular, plural, and here also singular, plural. That means had is applicable to singular or plural. The same manner had been is also applicable to singular or plural. Okay. Now see, coming to the structure, we categorize these two different helping verbs as two helping verbs. It's not one helping verb. Had been is not one helping verb. Had been is a combination of two helping verbs and they are termed as two separate helping verbs. Okay. So this is about our past tense. Now let us recollect once again all the subtenses of past tense. Now coming to past tense, we have four subtenses. One is simple past tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, past perfect continuous tense. Okay. Now in the past perfect tense, in the simple past tense, the structure is this. The structure for simple past tense is subject plus V2. V2 is nothing but that is verb 2. It is wrote. Next, for past continuous tense, the structure is subject plus was or were plus V4. Whereas Was is applicable to the singular subject and were is applicable to plural subject. If the subject is singular, was takes place, and if the subject is plural, were takes place. Okay? Alright. Now coming to past perfect tense, the structure for this is subject plus had plus V3. It's very simple. You need not to bother about it at all. As simple as possible. Okay? Right. So, had is applicable to either a singular subject and also a plural subject. Now, coming to past perfect continuous tense, there's a very little change between the perfect tense and perfect continuous tense. Some extra word gets joined here. That is been. Okay? Now, the structure is this. Subject plus had plus been plus V4. No matter what the subject is, whether it is a plural subject or a singular subject, but the same structure is followed by the plural as well as a singular subject. Now, this is about the past tense zone. Now, we are going to see some more information about future tense. Okay? Alright.